Meme Land. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy Monk Friends Roundtable discussion. This is episode 46. But before we get started, let me remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT no government license, which allows for the reuse and redistribution of this podcast by anyone and everyone except by governments and the bludgies thereof. You can learn more about that at bipcot.org. That is BIPCOT.org. Tonight, I think I titled the article "Slaying the Sacred Cows." We're gonna upset some folks.
We had sacred cow stew for dinner tonight at my house.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I had for pizza.
Vegetable sacred cow stew. Yep.
Vegetable stew. You ate the sacred turnips?
Well, I've had the sacred cow in my freezer for the last 6 days since I posted that fucking meme.
I linked that meme because we're going to talk about it. I actually linked the meme in the
oh man,
nice
for this podcast. Yeah. So,
dude, no shit.
What was it? Like
I thought
2,100 shares now.
Yeah. So like that morning I drove to Sheetz. It's like 7 miles. I drove to Sheetz and I got some bacon, egg, and cheese, like Sheetz version of McMuffins, and like some mini hash browns and some smokes. And I drove home and I thought of that meme on the way home. And then I fucking made it in like, 30 seconds and then threw it up thinking like, oh, that's kind of a good point. I wonder if anybody will kind of see what I'm saying. Holy shit.
Some serious butt hurt.
Oh man.
My God. Oh my God. A lot of people agreeing with it, and sharing it because they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, just like I thought it was just kind of a throwaway thing because, I kind of figured that most people had muted me in their newsfeed by now if they didn't agree with me because I'm so fucking opinionated. So I figured like you guys would see it, in our usual crew and that was it. No. And then I've been seeing it everywhere else too. Like people sharing it in original posts on their pages. Yep. I've seen
it on obscure places. Like I saw it on Discord.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's transcended Facebook.
I guess. I mean, I put it on Twitter and Instagram, but
It has ascended to a new plane of memery.
Jeez, it took on a life of its own, I swear. And these these people on my posts.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
Well,
let's hold on. Let's talk about the meme itself first. The meme itself.
Okay.
It's this person walking down a road, and at the top it says "I don't vote" in big black letters. And then below the person it says, not because, quote, it's pointless, or, quote, the system is rigged, or I just don't care because voting is, or I just don't care, but because voting is quite literally the act of trying to select a master for my neighbors, and I don't have that right. None of us do.
Yep.
A very simple statement.
A really simple statement.
Very, very simple statement. And right now it has 2,126 shares.
Just from my page. Not to mention all the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And
that for quick.
I've seen people I don't even know and that I didn't see comment on it, sharing it as like a response to somebody else's op, in the comments and stuff. I mean,
and you're like, yeah, whoever made that meme, they're a genius. Gone. They're awesome. Yeah.
I always give it a heart react when I see it like that.
Yeah, go that person. I don't know who that is, but man,
that's fucking
they are
brilliant. That's genius. Where did you get it?
This is a good one right here. Quote: "The parasites of the world, including libertarians, have no qualms killing you idiots to impose their will. Voting is simply non-lethal self-defense. When you tire of the shit tier, you actually stop trying to sound smart and initiate referendums to dismantle the state."
Yeah. And that person is not the only one that used the voting as self-defense bullshit. And I'm just, look, look, that's not how this works. Okay, self-defense ends where the negative rights of another human being begin. All right, it's your self-defense all the way up until the point where it affects somebody else's life. Right? Voting affects everyone else's life. So fuck you, it's not self-defense.
Yeah. Okay.
It becomes offense at that point.
This one has 153 responses to it.
Oh.
Quote, this is the stupidest in capital letters. This is the stupidest thing I've seen in ages. We're not electing a master, we're electing representatives.
NPC.
And if the people are bickering and fighting in favor of one party over the other and take some time and effort to learn about the people on the ballot, what they stand for and against, how they think their voting record or the voting record of the past, then we could elect people who actually serve our best interest as a state and as a nation. It is a failure of the people that this country has gone into the shitter because of bullshit, misinformation, and delusional garbage like this. This meme. If you don't like the system, get with the others who feel similarly. Do something about it.
Run defense of high school civics.exe.
Yes. That's what I want to say. I fucking can't with these people.
I guarantee
come on
you,
my post.
This
and they treat me like they treat me like I skipped every social studies and civics class between second grade and senior fucking year. Do you think that I didn't get the same education that you did? I know. Look, I used to believe that stupid shit too. But for God's sake.
From the same guy, this is one of his responses. And the responses to his comment. But what prevents that few hundred from controlling the rest of us? They use fear as a primary tool. Truth is, our government is only a few hundred.
I wait about that one.
Yeah, is he under the impression that like the people who are like in Congress and the White House are all that there is to government? Is that...
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I tried to set him straight because he's like, well, I was like, no, the government is millions of people strong. So like every military member, every cop, every petty bureaucrat, every fucking bean counter at the IRS, the government is like over 1 million people strong. All right. It really is. And he's like, well, they don't have the power. I was like, that's bullshit. You know who has the real
No, they
have
all of the power.
Yeah. Yeah. The enforcers have the real power. And the policy writers, irony. The policy writers, like my husband, they have this ridiculous amount of power because they're the ones who get to. It's not the Supreme Court that interprets legislation and law. The Supreme Court only interprets it if it is challenged. The people who interpret it for application to your fucking life, those are the people with the power. Those are the fucking policy makers, the unelected people who are running your entire fucking life.
Well, yeah, and you want to see that in action. Who do you have to go to and beg for an opinion on, or to give you some sort of a recommendation on whenever you want to do anything that you're not entirely sure is legal? You don't write to your senators and ask them. You have to go to the bureaucrats. You have to go to the regulators. You have to go to the local police. You have to go to the people that are actually going to physically fucking punish you if you don't do what they want. That's who you have to beg permission for.
Yeah. Here's my recommendation. Start at the Bureau of Bureaus, okay? And they can start pointing you in the right direction. I mean, Jesus.
It's well, I mean, look at the whole thing with the that case, Jason, that you posted a little while ago with the length of pole being too long on an AR pistol, and that whole thing, right? That's who did he have to?
Too long. That sounds a little bit like penis envy to me, you guys. I'm just saying.
No, you can't. The length of the pole can't be that long.
If you saw the rifle in question or the pistol in question, there's some serious envy issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was tactical as fuck. But
Yeah, no, that thing was a
was
fucking mess.
He was a black belt mall ninja for sure.
I almost got into the SEALs, but I
That thing was
screwed
a
up my
fucking mess.
knee.
Right. No, yeah, like I wouldn't want to shoot it because I'd be afraid that it would fucking shake apart in my hands. But that doesn't mean that it should be illegal for him to do. If you want to look like a fucking retarded douchebag, that is entirely up to you.
You have a right to be a
Yes.
retarded douchebag.
You absolutely have a right to be a retarded douchebag.
That is an actual right. Unlike
It is. That is a negative right.
for me.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
Be
and if being
a retarded douchebag
makes you happy, more fucking power to you, guy.
Ignorance is bliss.
But that's the thing though, is look at who he had to go to court with, look at who he needed opinions with, look at how the court had to refer to their opinions going back to all of the businesses. It wasn't the court going, well, this is what I think, you're going to have to abide by it. It was the court going, this is what these unelected bureaucrats say.
Right.
Like
case law is just mind-blowing how anybody could think that that's any kind of carriage of justice whatsoever.
The same with Cody Wilson. Cody Wilson at Defense Distributed, ghostgunner.net. It wasn't a single elected official that he had to go through. And his lawsuit did not go through a single elected person. Not a single elected person decided anything for him, right?
Right.
It was judges, it was the Department of Justice,
it was cops,
all that. It was all unelected people, all hired bureaucrats.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a major decision. That was a major point of contention, and that caused a lot of strife in the gun community and liberals and the the 3D printing technology, all this other stuff. I mean, like even the NRA came out. It's like, well, we're not really going to support this, right? so like, yeah, all elected bureaucrats, all the way up the chain, on doing with Cody Wilson.
Yeah, and that's government, folks.
Yeah,
that's government. So that is how you are governed. That is how you are controlled. That is how your life is regulated and groomed into what they think it should be. That's fucking government.
Yeah, it's not the people that you vote for. It's the people that are appointed by the people that you vote for.
And then hired by the people who are appointed by the people that you vote for.
Yeah, and the people who actually do the enforcing of the dictates of the people who are hired by the people who are appointed by the people who you vote for.
One of my this is a really long quote here, but I'm gonna read it for you guys. This is a Pierre Joseph Proudhon. That I don't know if you know that name or not, but to be governed is to
I know.
Yeah, to be governed.
I never pronounced it right.
Spied upon, directed, law-driven, numbered, regulated, enrolled, indoctrinated, preached at, controlled, checked, estimated, valued, censored, commanded by creatures who have neither the right nor the wisdom nor the virtue to do so. To be governed is to be at every operation, every transaction noted, registered, counted, taxed, stamped, measured, numbered, assessed, licensed, authorized, admonished, prevented, forbidden, reformed, corrected, punished. It is under pretext of public utility and is the name of the general interest to be placed under contribution, drilled, fleeced, exploited, monopolized, extorted from, squeezed, hoaxed, robbed, then at the slightest resistance, the first word or complaint to be repressed, fined, vilified, harassed, hunted down, abused, clubbed, disarmed, bound, choked, imprisoned, judged, condemned, shot, deported, sacrificed, sold, betrayed, and to crown all, mocked, ridiculed, derided, outraged, dishonored. That is government. That is the justice. That is their morality.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you used a lot of words that modern statists don't fucking understand and we've probably never heard before.
There were syllables that I can't count to.
Yeah. So like your shit's all fucked up and your shit's all retarded.
It's hard. It's hard to potato that down to 140 characters.
Yeah. Oh, there's the quote I was looking for. Your shit's all retarded and you talk like a fag. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has electrolytes.
It's got what plants crave.
Yeah. Oh.
So. But anyways, yeah, that was. Go ahead.
Yeah, just bravo.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it.
There was a lot of
Jimmy's
wrestled with that one. And as I was saying in pre-show, the link to Dyreka's meme, it's actually in the description of this video.
Yeah.
So should you also want to start a flame war on your page, you too can.
In one easy step.
How to offend someone? Step 1: state your opinion.
Yeah. Shit. Oh my god.
And there were some like you did reach a few people. There were some people on there that you were conversing with that started to get it.
Right.
Right. I mean, so that's a good thing. So I mean,
yeah.
2100.
And I saw a lot of that in the comments or on the shares.
Oh, and fam came out in force.
Yeah.
On this one, and fam forced to defend your view and to defend you yourself.
Right. Or just to help me handle all the fucking retards.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and make no mistake too. I mean, a lot of people. Well, a lot of people, they tend to kind of disregard a lot of libertarians and libertarian-leaning anarchists.
Right.
But the thing is remember,
us as fringe, that we're just one lone crazy wackadoo, but we're not. There's so many of us. You know, that's an appeal to popularity, I know, but still, we're not as fringe as y'all think we are. And also, I'm totally a bot. Just in case anyone was wondering, I'm sitting right here, but I'm a Russian bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fake news.
You are fake news. No.
Go ahead, Andrew. It sounds like you were saying something profound. So
I was gonna. So get on with your stupid profound. I'm busy with my craziness, and here you want to be intelligent.
Your profundity. We want it now.
No, I was going to say that everybody kind of forgets that the people who there are a lot of people who still believe that voting makes a difference, that they can change things with voting, that voting is necessary or anything else. And they're just a lot of them are just that right nudge, that right explanation from realizing the truth of that and refusing to participate. And you just need that little extra explanation, like, dude, you don't have a right to tell anyone else how to live. And they're like, oh my God, I don't. You're right. And they start to figure it out.
Yeah, there's people who see the cancer, but they're still trying to inject cancer cells into the cancer to kill the cancer. You know, like, you just have to get them to see that they're just perpetuating it.
Like, I always like to bring up Ron Paul, because a lot of libertarians are libertarians, a lot of anarchists are anarchists because of Ron Paul, or at least came to this sort of self-ownership view through Ron Paul. Ron Paul was in Senate for what, like 20 years or something like that, right?
Yeah,
I think
he didn't get a single bill passed. He never audited the Fed, and he never stopped a single thing. Period.
Yeah,
that's how much his vote was worth.
Yep. So even if you get together, is that beeping me or is it somebody else?
Oh, that was probably me trying to mute. Apparently, no matter what I do, I'm going to be obnoxious. So that's cool.
Well, I've heard it a couple times now, and I don't know if it's.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that's just me trying to hit my little mute button, and it isn't supposed to be.
Gotcha.
Andrew oppressing us with his beeps.
Yeah. Those beeps bring all the boys to the earth.
Damn it.
So, any other comments from that post that you want to bring up, Jason?
Actually, I closed it, but
Oh.
there was a lot of really dumb ones, and there was some really good ones, which I probably should have highlighted. But
people have the link; they can go check it out for themselves.
It's worth reading through if you got a few minutes. You're like on the bus, you're going home from work. Yeah,
Right.
give it a read.
Yeah, or if you accidentally found a shred of faith in humanity in your pocket and you don't know how to get rid of it, what to do with it, what to spend it on, that thread will take care of it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can. Nope, burn it to the ground. Burn it all down.
We don't need no motherfucking burn.
Exactly.
If you're anywhere near the edge, that post is gonna push you right over into full-blown fucking nihilism.
Have you seen 12 Monkeys? Like that. If you are Brad Pitt immediately before he talks to Bruce Willis, you will be Brad Pitt after he talks to Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Well,
By the end of that,
I gotta read this one. I gotta read this one just because of Dyreka's response to it.
Okay.
Quote, so the oligarchy will select for you as it has already. Not saying the choice is ours, it's up to the electoral college. However, the cohesiveness it can create in society not only is beneficial now, it is also keeping a system in place for the time when it is up to us. Aside from all of that, a president is no one's master. I know whoever made this is trying to keep us down and will without choice while sounding all spiritual hip. It did not work.
we must obey the fatherland.
I remember exactly how I responded to that one.
The Dyreka's response is, your comment is eating its own ass.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, fucking yes. Because it's like, and it not only is it rambling in a way that I've heard people who are like really stoned and they don't ramble that bad. They still have more focus. Not only that, but it's like he starts out going, okay, yeah, you're right. And then he's like, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
What?
Like, yeah,
What?
you're right. It doesn't matter at all. But you guys, it's so important. Fucking what? It doesn't matter at all, but it's so important. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, motherfucker, if you open up the dictionary to the term psychological dissonance, that comment is in the entry. Like, cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that comment is in the fucking entry, because, dude.
And there's a link in that entry to performative contradiction, and it's also in that entry.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and this thing's just everywhere.
So, that was fun. Yeah.
God.
Anyways.
Yeah, Dyreka Claus, it bothers us all because you are encouraging people not to vote, and when less people vote, it has a negative effect on our country.
Oh, yeah.
The fact is that more people are liberal in this country. It is just that the Republicans are better at getting their base out to vote. If everyone voted, we wouldn't have Trump, and we would all have better off.
Whoa, what? Wait, what side is he on? I'm really confused right now. Wait. Like, I feel like the little numbers and the calculations.
I know. So then I said something about how did I put that? I can't bring it up right now.
You said OMFG with smiley face, smiley.
Oh yeah.
For the record, I fucking hate liberals even worse than I hate conservatives. If you were to put a gun in my head and force me to vote, it wouldn't work out how you want it to. How can you extol the virtues of the system yet have so little faith in the results?
Right.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, this works, you guys. It never works, but it's important.
Yeah. It works. Just, I mean, not last time or the time before.
I can't say it better than this. I absolutely cannot say it better than this right here.
I can't even. You got to read it to us.
This says everything. It shows it's Taco Bell, right? And it has it says voted best Mexican restaurant 2018. And the caption at the top says, "This is what happens when you don't vote."
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you don't vote in elections that actually matter.
Oh God.
That was deciding an important issue.
And there was a bunch of people. There was a bunch of people that commented on this and then blocked you.
Yeah, I know.
Which
I know.
Just
yeah.
That is the equivalent of like if somebody was like if you're at a party and there are people in the kitchen like having a reasonable discussion politically, and you just like lean in and go, "You're all wrong, fuck you," and then leave without explanation.
No, you weren't even in the kitchen to
it.
begin with. That's like people having a reasonable conversation in the kitchen, and you run in, pull your pants down, slap your nuts on somebody's hand, and then fucking run out of the kitchen before they can say anything about it. Right.
Good. Well, good. Don't vote. I'll select your master for you. LOL.
No, you won't.
Yeah, but well, and that's the other thing too. I loved when you started to take the tactic where you're like, if I'm so stupid, then do you really want somebody as dumb as me choosing your leader for you?
Right.
Like, in case you forgot, there's something like 38% or something of Americans think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Those people you want to choose your leader. That's who you want. Like,
And I said that too. And then one of our friends commented and was laughing over how many comments the thread had. And I was like, well, a lot of people just wanted to come here to tell me how fucking retarded I am, but that I should totally vote anyway.
You're so stupid. I really want you to participate, and so that your voice counts as much as mine. What? I'm not drawing a line here between your thoughts. I'm very confused.
Well, that's because you're not a mental gymnast.
Right. Right. But like one of your thoughts is from like the, Polynesian islands. And your other thought is from like fucking Siberia. So I don't know how you think the
cave in Indonesia where those got stuck.
How do you think they're related? They're not fucking related.
That's just like, oh man, I sure am hungry. Boy, did you hear about that discovery in astronomy today? Okay, how are those related thoughts?
Right. I know.
The people you vote for are supposed to represent you, provided you're well informed enough about how exactly the Constitution limits government. Either be an informed voter or don't vote at all.
Yeah.
Well, that piece of paper.
How about don't vote at all? I vote for don't vote at all. See what I did there?
Yeah, exactly. My thought too is I'm like, okay, I choose the second one.
Right.
I'm glad we agree.
But I think I told that person that it's impossible to be an informed voter. They're fucking liars. Mm-hmm. You don't have the truth. You never have the fucking truth. You think you do, but you don't.
That's why you have those jokes like when the whitest kids did the skit with the senator where he's like, together we can piggyback some of our state's legitimate needs on my relentless urge for self-gratification.
Yeah. And maybe I'll get just enough of it done that you want me back in 2 years.
Yeah,
maybe.
I've lived my life in such a bland and uncontroversial way as to feel unnatural.
Unnaturally bland. Yeah. Either that or everybody who could have borne witness against me is dead now, conveniently.
Yeah. Imagine that. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Google Clintoning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is before I went full anarchist, I was invited by, ironically, the Republican Party here in town to run because I have some friends that worked on Carly Fiorina's campaign and a couple others. And they're like, oh, you should totally run. And I'm like, even then, I'm like, I don't really think you want me to. And they're like, no, you're totally like, I'm like, yeah, but see, like people talk about them digging up dirt and
bitch, I have skeletons in my motherfucking closet, okay?
Well, see, but the thing is, it isn't even just the skeletons. It's like, it's the shit that I wouldn't be ashamed of that I think they need to worry about. That they'd be like, and then you did this and this. Yeah, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like, here's reasons I could never run for political office. 1, I don't give a fuck what you think of me. 2, I don't give a fuck what you think of me. And 3, I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
My political campaign would have amounted to like, hey, so you probably want somebody who you feel is electable and that you like. Well, I'm none of those things, but boy, will I have a beer with you.
Yeah.
And that would be it. That would end right then. Yeah. And it just goes, vote for me or don't. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, right. You want somebody smooth and polished who will lie to you all day. That's not me. So fuck off. I didn't want your vote anyways. Like, that's my campaign.
This is a perfect segue to one of the articles that I want to cover real quick.
Awesome.
Green Wave. Record spending makes 2018 U.S. midterms the most expensive ever.
And
boy, that was a productive use of all that money.
For what? So people can elect beep instead of boop? I mean, like, for what? There is no discernible, actual, practical fucking difference between any of these people.
I mean, I'm on the side, especially in the Texas election, I'm in the side of the giant douche, but some people prefer the turd sandwich, and, you know, I hate those people.
Well, turd sandwich makes a few good points.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm an independent thinker, so I'm going to evaluate the candidates based on their own merit.
Yep. The CRP, the Center for Responsive Politics, they estimate that
sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Sorry.
The initials of CRP projected show that 5.2 billion in spending this election cycle. No prior midterm has cost more than 4.2 billion, even adjusted for inflation.
And where does that money come from, America? Do you know where that money all comes from? Well, I mean,
Democrats are leading the spending spree with an estimate 2.5 billion, while Republicans are expecting to spend about 2.2. The CRP said Democrats are outspending the GOP 951 million to 637 million in House races and 513 million to 361 in the Senate.
But the government is totally, for real, you guys, for really real, of the people. Like, anybody could be part of the government. The government is us. You just have to have billions of fucking dollars.
Billions of dollars. Like, have these people not seen Brewster's Millions? Come on. How did he waste all his money? Like,
we're gonna spend $5.2 billion. 5.2 billion with a B.
Yeah. 1,000 millions. Okay. Yes. For the people who think that there's an important distinction between a democracy and a republic, a billion is 1,000 millions.
Yes.
Okay.
People into a position that makes less than $200,000 a year.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why would anybody spend that much money for a job that doesn't pay that well?
What is the RTI on that? What is the return to investment?
Yeah.
See, but the RTI is actually really high for this because you don't necessarily get it's not money.
Like,
otherwise you go producers.
But that should show you only know about the $200,000 a year that they make on the public fucking record. That's all you know about. Why would they fight so hard for that job?
You know, and what
all they made was a middle class fucking income.
And this 5.2 billion, these aren't the politicians themselves spending money. This is money being raised by super PACs, by wealthy donors.
Gosh, you know, our economy would be in such a better shape if we just spent some money. Useful things.
One more quick thing. One more quick thing I want to say real quick. One of the things that statists use all the time to attack libertarianism and anarchism is that without government, mega corporations would take over.
Yeah, I love that one.
If that was true,
corporation is a legal fucking fiction.
If that was true, wouldn't mega corporations now support libertarian anarchists?
Yes.
Well, it's like, gosh,
Absolutely.
If there was no government, then anyone who is willing to spend billions of dollars could wind up in power over everyone else. And I mean, that would be a horrible world, wouldn't it?
But it just, the thing that bothers me the worst when people say corporations would take over, corporations would not exist without government. What do you think the word corporation fucking means? What do you fucking think it means? How do you think a business becomes a corporation? Does anybody raise your hand? Anybody?
By incorporating?
Yeah. Woo,
yeah.
Gold star for you, Jason.
Well, which is something that totally didn't even exist until comparatively recently. That wasn't a thing until recently. There's a reason why you don't hear about these companies in the late 1700s, early 1800s being something incorporated.
Right. And the mechanism to incorporate is a legal
Yep.
Would legal processes exist? The answer is no. It's not that fucking difficult.
But without government, who has stopped big companies from utilizing things that government gives them?
Yeah. What? Huh? What?
Wait, you mean that the things that literally can't exist without government? But they might exist.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, and let's tie this back to your meme and what we were talking about there with the voters.
All right. We could probably relate every article from tonight back to that fucking and shit that people were saying in the comments.
Absolutely. Maybe not. Well, no, even that could become a political issue too.
Yeah.
But yeah, tying it back to your meme and what people were saying about voting and your voice and all this other stuff, right?
Mm.
If people are willing to spend $5.2 billion on a midterm election trying to get people elected, they are not putting forth the best man for the job.
Hell no.
They are not putting forward anybody that would limit government, that would limit corporate powers, that would limit make a more competitive market.
No.
Well, yeah, and ask yourself, I mean, if you could trust the people that are getting elected, if you actually could, would there be financial incentive for any of them to
remain trustworthy?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like for them to not misuse funds, for them to not, is there actually any kind of an incentive there? Because even if assuming that they started out with the world's greatest intentions and that they're trustworthy, wonderful people,
absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
Exactly. Once they hit that point where somebody's like, here's $1 billion, can you still trust that person?
None of it's for you. This is for the people now. And you need to be making sure all of this makes it to the people. Yeah, fucking right. That's going to happen. That's too much temptation for any one human being to deal with. That kind of power and having control over that kind of fucking wealth. It's too much for human mortal souls.
I don't care how good you think a person is. You start offering them numbers worth of money that have 6 to 8 zeros. They don't fucking care how moral they are anymore.
Yeah, numbers become meaningless at that point. If they skim $1 million or $2 here or there, who's gonna fucking notice? Look how big that number is.
My campaign needs a small tropical island.
Yeah, my campaign needs a new fucking Harrier jet.
My campaign needs 30 pounds of blow and like 16 hookers.
My campaign needs a fucking maid and a nanny. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well, see, but if you're campaigning, you do because you're not home anymore often. You got to go out and campaign.
Well, shit,
you can
then
totally
I need a
justify
tutor
that.
too because I homeschool my kids, so somebody's got to do that.
Oh, look at that!
Teacher.
Don't forget, you're on the campaign trail. You need somebody to stay home protect them also. So you got
security guards,
armed security, and
I'm gonna
and you're gonna get stressed, which means
for the puppies.
Right,
well,
and you're going to
really
get stressed,
puppies.
which means personal masseuse, and I mean, oh shucks,
you can
and
start
then
justifying any fucking thing you want.
Oh, what's that? You need a pool? It's for your health. Yeah,
right.
Oh, you need a pool, boy? Oh.
I need a third house.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders.
Down,
Bernie Sanders.
I'm wrestling all the Jimmies tonight. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Nobody's wrestled yet. There's not even a comment in the chat yet.
You know what I love?
There will be.
I love that people who came on that meme, all the people that hated me for that meme, they all assumed that I was on the side opposite of wherever they stand. It wrestled people on the right. It wrestled people on the left. It wrestled people in the middle. It wrestled fucking minarchists. Because everybody assumed that I would, like, if the lefty came on my thread, they assumed I was a fucking Russian bot. If a conservative came on my thread, they assumed I was a fucking commie. I got called a commie. It's just holy shit.
You guys just shouldn't participate. You're on their side. You're on their side.
Right. Not one of them read through the fucking thread before they commented.
I didn't see one person. I didn't see one person call you a do nothing libertarian.
Well, I saw somebody had said something about, oh, you libertarians. No, just it was something like, I know other crazy people like you who don't like to vote and they're fucking lazy, and you know, you're not taking some kind of moral stance, you're just being lazy and turning your back, and that's apathy and blah blah fucking blah. And, like, people said it, but it was like roundabout. Nobody put it that concisely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get a lot of shit for not supporting libertarians.
Yeah.
For not voting for.
You're not on. They're like, oh, you're just gonna let the party go down the drain, and I'm like, flush.
Ironically, I get a lot of libertarians that like add me and then slowly but surely start to figure out that maybe I also don't agree with them. Yeah. And they're like confused the first like dozen posts.
A whole bunch of libertarians just added me because of that meme. And I'm like, okay, here we fucking go. You're not going to be my friend for long. I mean, sure, if you want, maybe you'll pick something up. I don't know. But I promise you, I'm not going to agree with everything you say.
You are not going to like what the ride I'm about to take you on.
Yeah, you're not going to like me. I promise you're not going to fucking like me. But hey, it's your time to waste.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I have like a few people who are like parts of like the leadership of the LP on my friends list now and stuff, and I'm like, why did you add me? Did you actually read literally nothing that I've ever posted like in the past like 5 years and including like my at least 100 posts calling, and I quote, the Libertarian Party is a dumpster fire. Like, have you not noticed any of that? I don't.
I know. And I'm like, all you have to do is scroll through the last 2 days of my timeline. Just 2 fucking days of my fucking timeline. And you won't want to be my friend anymore. Just save us both the aggravation and vet me first, please.
Well, it's like that dude that I had on one of my posts where I was ripping on police, I think, and he's like, oh, you kids are ruining conservatism. And my response was, I'm sorry, are you under the impression that I'm a conservative?
Yeah, right.
You make
the weirdest ideas.
You make one gun post. You make one gun post and somebody shares it, and all of a sudden you're a conservative because you're pro-gun.
Yeah,
I'm pro weed and guns, homie.
Yeah,
dude, my
and I'm
freaking
pro people fucking cutting off whatever part of their body they want as long as they're adults. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't like. You know what? You want to do that? I think you're probably nuts. But hey, you know what? Go ahead, go for it. I don't really care. I don't. It's not my business. It's your body.
Yeah, I mean, I may think you have a mental disorder, but it's not my job to convince you that you have one. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, nah,
it's your business. Shit.
Go ahead, blow your hand off. I don't care.
Yeah,
cut your ear off to just destroy your nose. I don't care.
Just
I really don't
damage
at all.
somebody else. Don't hurt an innocent person that never hurt you. That's literally my only fucking line. Do not
shove an M80 up your butthole. None of this is my business. Just please record it. Yeah, just please record it and put it on YouTube. I beg you. But either way,
I'll share the
not my problem.
out of it. It's so simple, but people just. Oh my god.
Karen,
well, and the thing is,
Karen Keener says, "Word to my new girlfriend, Dyreka."
Oh, hey Karen, how's it going? Thanks for watching, and thanks for all your help in that thread. Those people are fucking cray. Yep. Karen was a lot of help in that thread. That was very nice. I did have a lot
fanatics.
of support.
Bunch of political religious fanatics, you know, the most dangerous superstition.
Yep.
Like
politics is the world's biggest fucking cult.
I smell segue? I smell segue.
Perfect segue.
All right.
Our sacred.
We're so good at that.
Cow.
God damn.
We already killed the voting cow. Now we're on to our other cow. That super status guy Fawkes.
Do it, Andrew. Do it. Andrew's doing it. Here he goes.
Yeah, remember
the 5th of November.
The gunpowder treason and plot. I see no reason.
There we go.
Gunpowder.
Am I suitably am I an anarchist now? I got the monster logo and the MTV thing, but
now.
Yeah, I'm part of Anonymous now. We're rebellious and things here.
Yeah, we're fighting the system.
Because MTV is rebellious, see, and so is Monster, because they're extreme. And
hey, but Jason was reading a quote when you so rudely interrupted, guy.
I was just reading stupid little ditty that everybody
from B is for Vendetta.
Well, yeah, it's from something else, but remember the 5th of November? Gunpowder plot. I see no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Well, I got a good reason. Because he was a fucking statist.
Yeah. Guy Fawkes is not the fucking anti-government revolutionary everybody thought he was. He had his fucking panties in a wad because the official religion of the state that he lived in, the government that he lived under, changed the official fucking religion away from his religion, and he wanted to return this official state religion back to his fucking religion.
Yep,
literally all he wanted.
Yep, that whole blow up parliament thing. Wrong. He wanted to blow up the king and a few other individuals so that the niece, who was pro-Catholic, would be in charge and could return the government back to being friendly to the Catholics and anti-Protestant. The king was Protestant. He was in favor of Protestant, of that religion, and had laws established against Catholicism.
Yeah. He wasn't protesting. Sorry.
No, he was not protesting.
He wasn't protesting. He wasn't protesting the Protestant Church of England. Okay. He was trying to scare. He was a terrorist. He was trying to scare them, or he was trying to take out, like Jason said, power players that were standing in the way of what he wanted things to be. So he was still using government. He was still using the royal family. He still believed in them and their authority. He just wanted to rearrange it to his own fucking liking.
Right. Okay. Remember, this wasn't even about religion. It was about right to succession.
Yeah. Well,
ultimately,
his actions. Yeah. His motivation for it was religiously motivated, but like what he did was because But, well, I mean, you could say that about any politician or statist, really. It's all fucking religion. But, Yeah, like the plot, the plan, none of that was about religion. I mean, that was all, like you said, about succession, about who he wanted to see on the throne. So
right, and
he wasn't trying to overthrow the fucking British aristocracy.
I mean,
exactly the opposite. Actually, he wanted to reinstill the old one again.
Right.
There's a reason that it's remembered as Pope's Day. Right, the 5th of November in the U.S., where it was carried over. The people here in the U.S., they call it Pope's Day. The Catholic Church refers to it as Pope's Day.
And really, you got to remember that Guy Fawkes is linked inexorably, ultimately, with the Jacobite Rebellion, right? Because part of the Jacobite Rebellion was the Stuarts were Catholic and were very much pro-Irish, pro-Scottish, because they were also Catholic, and so that's why they wanted them on the throne. Though it's a repeated thing throughout English history after the Henry VIII, where everyone's trying to bring the Pope back.
Right, and then Scots were even fighting between themselves because there were factions that didn't even want to be part of England. They wanted their own king and their own nation, and this isn't...
Well,
it's never as clear-cut as people want to think that it is.
Well, yeah, and and look at Ireland, because it's so historically known for its religious tolerance and unity, and but
voting is still a good idea because we are a collective, and we need to find out what the cohesive, clear will of the collective is.
The funny thing though,
if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah. If you don't try to blow up Parliament, you can't complain. Actually, that one might work. But I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of the main reason why the Guy Fawkes thing has gotten so popular is that it's used in V for Vendetta, and he mainly uses it because Guy Fawkes tried to blow up Parliament and change the government.
Story, yeah, but
yeah.
V for Vendetta was so Hollywood. Like
in the film, not the comic, though. Yeah, the comic is very different.
Here's a confession, you guys. I've never even watched the whole fucking thing. I've only seen clips of it.
Dyreka?
Don't look at me like that.
I don't know if
you fucking look at me like that.
You know what? You know what? No, we're talking about. I will look at you.
Knee. I will put you over my knee. And I will spank you, and I won't even let your girlfriend watch.
She'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I know. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah,
I got better things to do with my time.
Guy Fawkes was not only a political statist, he was a religious statist.
He was a religious fanatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was not an anarchist. He was not trying to free himself. He was trying to color his chains gold.
Yeah. And now
he was a tyrant. He was a tyrant without his own nation to fucking rule. That's what he was. I mean, the world is full of them. These fucking petty tyrants that think they have some right to direct how society conducts itself.
I is an anarchist.
You look like the douchebag guy with your hat like that, which is
exactly
accurate. Yeah.
I really want to just grab that hat and bend the bill.
Mm-hmm.
No,
me
not
too.
this one.
How old are you, Andrew? Come the fuck on.
This is an athletes only, sponsored athletes only hat. I'll have you know, and no.
It's exactly how much I care about that.
There was a meme I saw earlier. You guys know the where they have the stat column of it's like a light blue head, and it said vote Republican or Democrat, and then like another head with a little bit of stars, and it was like vote Libertarian. The bottom one, it's like the universe. It says wipe your ass with your ballot and mail it back.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. There have been some great memes. There have been some
this
really
is what
great
I
memes
think
going
of your
around.
candidates.
Yeah. And that's why I don't fucking get why mine got so much attention. wasn't that good, you guys. It was kind of boring. I mean, there was no like entertainment factor or.
Oh, it was straight to the point. It was concise. It was clear. It made a perfect statement. Simplified. There wasn't a lot of flowery language to it.
But I've written posts
and it openly defied the political religion.
Yeah, but I mean, I've written 500-word posts explaining that concept, detailing exactly why I believe that and exactly how I arrived at that logic.
Go around.
But it's not a couple of words on a picture, so people don't fucking read it.
If your opinions cannot fit.
Yeah, but here's the best part. Here's the best part. Because I condensed it down to a fucking meme that people might actually read before their attention span switched to something else.
Yeah.
Then people came on that post assuming that short little blurb was all I had to say about it. And I never thought anything about it other than that. And they thought that was my whole view, just those few words on that little fucking picture. And it's like flips table.
Yep.
Fuck all of you.
It is. You're a heretic.
Like push his laptop on
the
floor.
You're a political heretic.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw you in the water and see if you swim.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like,
yeah. But that's it though too, is that because that's as far as their thought process goes with anything that isn't in agreement with them already,
or anything that they didn't like process after it had been pre-digested for them and delivered to them on a fucking silver platter. Yeah. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Most people will only look into an issue until they confirm their bias. And if they cannot confirm their bias in the first few minutes, then they quit looking into it.
Yeah, they just shove it into some fucking mental filing cabinet and never bother with it again. So,
yeah,
but there are people.
Which is why you're that piece that you wrote about logic and problem solving, when you use the quote from Aristotle about
that's coming along nicely, by the way.
That will be a really good piece.
I'm really excited about it. I'm writing a book, Andrew.
You're writing a book?
Yeah, it's called Critical Thinking and Problem Solving for Tweens and Teens, because I had to make this homeschooling lesson plan for Caleb about the steps of critical thinking and how you break a problem down and the questions you need to ask yourself and how you can investigate your list of possibilities to find, the answer that makes the most sense. So I had to break this down because he's a kid that really, he needs these things broken down into steps. Declan is a much more intuitive learner. He'll be able to intuit what I mean from things like that, but Caleb has to see the process. I have to show it to him.
So you're going to go through Aristotelian logic and stuff?
No, this is just for tweens and teens. This is really, it's for kids.
I'll send you, or I'll in the Telegram group, I'll send you what she sent me.
Yeah. And
I'm just saying, I went through and here's where I rustle some more jimmies at a private Christian school. I went through a Aristotelian logic class on critical thinking at age 17. And they went through, and Aristotelian logic is just the if-then statements, really is what it boils down to.
Right.
Which is kind of the core of critical thinking to me. So
right. And I used the quote from him, but then I explored in the foreword, kind of put it in terms a kid could understand, from age 10 on, a kid can kind of understand what he means by this and what he's trying to tell us. And, but that was just the foreword. And then I'm honestly, maybe nobody else will ever be interested in it, but I'm breaking it down in a way that makes sense to me and to my kids. So.
Oh.
Well, I think too much quote unquote education focuses on let's tell kids what they should think. Let's never teach kids how to think.
Do you know how fucking frustrated I've been trying to find any kind of curriculum resource on critical thinking that wasn't just, like theory or just fucking, somebody's opinions on it. Like, I wanted an actual fucking workbook with space to put down an actual problem and work through the steps in a guided fashion and learn how to do it step by step. And I couldn't fucking find it anywhere, so I'm making it.
Well, if you get to the point where you're doing like actual like logic and Aristotelian logic, I think I can still track down the course materials that I had for my class, because it was a workbook and like an actual like lesson plan and everything. And I still know the guy that actually ran that class, so I can probably hit him up and be like, "Hey, who actually made that?" Because you can probably just get it from them for relatively cheap, because keep in mind this private school was like all of like 30 people, so
right. Well, and what I'm looking to do is just put together something that is in very simple terms for kids, just to get the process started. Can you imagine if every kid is introduced to something like that at the age of about 10? Can you imagine how different the landscape of our world would be right now?
Like classical, I mean, any kind of, you'd be hitting classical philosophy and things at like 14. You're actually getting into like hardcore thinking. If you're starting to like hardcore discuss Nietzsche when you're like not old enough to drive, you know what? You're a bit ahead of curve. Like,
right.
All right. Rizzo says it was about papal power, and a government that leans Catholic means that the Pope ultimately had control. And Karen wants to know if you can pre-order your book.
Well, I'm on chapter 2, so that might be a little premature.
All right.
No, it's not going to be very long, but I promise you, if I do manage to finish it, because I have so much spare time on my hands, but if I do manage to finish it, and I end up doing like Amazon, like self-publishing or something, I will be sharing that link. That's going to happen. So I promise you, it's going to be available.
No, I do want to address real quick just the comment about the papal power thing, because that is kind of, and I feel like this is what we needed Dan for tonight. So like now I'm going to have to go and rant on religion and conspiracies because Dan's not here. Jared, come on, you put me in that position. But no, like that's the whole reason.
Dan, people miss you, for fuck's sake. You're banned for life from Facebook. You're banned for life from Twitter. Are you banned from Instagram yet? I don't fucking know, but you might be.
All right. Go, Andrew. I got my hat on.
All right. So I was gonna say that is why historically, the papacy has been the thing that's been bought and paid for and fought for over and over and over again. Anyone who's studied the Medici, anyone who studied the Medici, anyone who studied the Borgia, anyone who studied a whole bunch of these families over time, that it like established dynastic rule over the papacy. You can't study those and not understand why that was a valuable thing. Is because it gave you power over everyone, not just religiously, although don't get me wrong, that is a hugely powerful thing, but you also had political power. So you had them both.
Was the one person who could tell kings what the fuck to do.
Exactly. Okay. And he's the one guy who can say, you need to give me money, and then kings will do it.
Yeah. Or you're going to hell. Like, you give me money, or you're going to hell. Or I won't support you anymore, and I'll support your younger brother in rebellion against you.
When Borgia, when the Borgia Pope took over, even, what was he, Innocent? I guess Pope Innocent the second, first, something like that. Anyway,
I love that any of them named themselves Innocent.
I know, right? Well, he had kids, man. Like, he had his own kids. And, I'm innocent.
That's like wishful thinking right there.
Yeah.
People to think fucking innocent.
And like no one went, that's a little pretentious, I think.
Most popes throughout history, can I just say this real quick? Okay, so like Pope John Paul a lot of people, that restored a lot of people's faith in the papacy just because he seemed like a really great guy, right? But popes in the past, I said seemed like, okay? I don't fucking know.
Well, except to one guy who tried to shoot him. I'm just going to point out.
Right. But popes of the past, they have been womanizers. They've been fucking murderers. They've been child rapists, of course, because it's the Catholic Church. They've been torturers.
Our Catholic watcher.
What's that?
I said, and there went our Catholic viewer.
Well, I mean, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. So, you know, there's no use in being intellectually dishonest about shit that actually fucking happened.
And those who do know history are doomed to watch people repeat it.
Yeah.
Which one's the worst curse, really, is kind of the question.
Ignorance is bliss.
Well, I feel like I can at least close my eyes. I don't know.
All right, let's move on. We
Yeah.
beat that horse to death.
Yeah, we did.
My favorite subject, property rights.
Yep.
Woo!
Two brothers want to start a Christmas tree farm on their own land. The township might fine them $450,000.
Because they planted trees.
Because
No,
yeah,
because they
of course.
cut down
Well,
the
because how
Christmas trees
dare they?
without the government's permission.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Right.
I just
How dare they think that they can do what they want to something they own without permission from people that have nothing to fucking do with it? Like, how dare they think that?
Hold on. They have reason. They even have a positive reason. So, all right, two brothers might have to cough up $450,000 payable to Canton Township, Michigan. Their infraction: daring to cut down trees on their own property. Gary and Matt Percy own and operate two businesses in the state: a trucking company and a tree specialization company. They plan to start a Christmas tree farm on the 16-acre piece of land that they own in Canton Township. But to do that, they needed to cut down more than 1,400 existing trees. And for good reason, their attorney, Michael J. Patwell, says the property was ravaged by, quote, invasive plants like pheromytes, buckthorn, and autumn olive. It's not like the brothers cleared the area without replacing the trees they cut down. They plan to put up 2,500 Christmas trees in the ground, and about 1,000 of those have already been planted. Unfortunately for the Percys, a township ordinance prohibits landowners from cutting down trees without the government's permission.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let's see. Quote: the township defines a tree as a woody plant with a defined stem.
They have to fucking define a tree. Hang on a second.
Hold up.
They have to fucking define what a tree is.
The government had to define what a tree is. The township
tax dollars hard at work, America.
As a woody plant with a defined stem of at least 3 inches in diameter and at chest height. Because the township does not know the exact number of trees removed, it hired an arborist to examine the makeup of trees on an adjacent property to estimate what trees were for this property before they removed them. And the settlement offered the township proposed fines of about $450,000 for the removal of what it claims is slightly less than 1,500 trees, including 100 landmarked or, quote, historic trees.
Jesus. Historic trees.
This is the best part right here. Patwell told MLive.com that the township's approval, quote, may be obtained by either payment into the township's so-called tree fund or on-site replacement with trees of certain designated trunk diameters. If the brothers do both these things, the fines can be reduced by about $70,000.
Oh, how magnanimous.
Wait. So to recap real quick, that I'm up to speed here, we're talking about their land, their trees. They cut them down, but they didn't ask and beg very nicely. So, well, you're going to get fined because you didn't ask, because they're super special trees, apparently. And
because we say they're super special trees.
Yeah, because we say they're super special, but you can get the fine reduced if you go ahead and give us money.
If the township's approval may be obtained by either payment into the township's so-called tree fund or on-site replacement with trees of certain designated trunk diameters. So they have to pay this county and replace the trees to reduce their fine by $70,000.
Wouldn't doing that probably cost $70,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather just remove the trees and then not pay you guys, because fuck you. Like,
Yeah. Right.
Bundy Ranch, my fucking Christmas tree farm.
People wonder why arson starts to look fucking attractive to some people.
Yeah, because if it was a forest
lightning
fire,
struck. Yeah, it was a forest fire. Yeah.
Who knew? Apparently, if you fire bottle rockets into pine trees, they start on fire. Who knew? I didn't know.
They already planted 1,000 trees, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, my campfire got out of hand. I'm so sorry.
1,400 taken down, 1,000 trees planted. Here's a fine for $45,000 or $450,000 on your land that you own, quote unquote own.
Yeah. But we're free. We are free. They're not masters. We're not slaves. How dare you say that, you piece of shit?
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. At best, we're fucking sharecroppers. I mean, like at best.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's, really, it's more like slavery. So
we're indentured servants because we're white. So we don't get to be slaves.
Right.
Yeah.
We're indentured servants. Yeah. Soft core porn. We're the soft core of slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like the Skinamax of slavery instead of the XNXX of slavery.
Yeah, exactly. It's
got it.
Yep.
Got it.
We're the R-rated version of pirates, not the original version.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Got it. Yeah. Got that cemented in my head now.
Our Jolly Roger has blunt points on the
right. Yeah, it has bubble wrap around the ends of those.
Yeah.
All the sharp edges.
Land in the free. Asterisk.
Yeah. To anyone who doesn't know, that Pirates is the single most expensive adult film in history. It cost something like $140 million to make and has actual special effects and stuff. And then it became so popular that they made an R-rated version of it. So. And I know this because I'm a connoisseur of adult films. Don't judge me.
If I did, it would. For what? You said on my post about keeping a sleeping bag on my couch. If I were to judge you, it wouldn't be for the sleeping bag. Who was it? Was it one of you?
Not me.
No.
All right. Oh no, it was Justin. It was Justin. Yeah. I knew it was somebody that had some kind of connection with this show. So
all right,
anyways.
I got a couple articles left. Which one do you guys want to do?
Well, give us the titles because as American voters, we can make a decision based only on
all right,
two choices.
You want to talk about? Okay, we got two parties and we got like a third party. All right, so we got officers, U.S. officers rape, U.S. police officers raping people. We got an article from Fawkes talking about how drinking water could help reduce suicide if we put lithium in our tap water.
I think that one sounds fun. Safe. That's a fun topic. I think that's the one we should go with.
And then the U.S. Air Force and their coffee cup problem.
Yeah, that's another good one. I don't want to yeah.
All right, let's go with the Vox article because again, this could be a property right issue.
Yeah.
This is an article from Vox.
Well, all rights are property rights. So.
That's true. That's Vox, VOX. How our drinking water could help prevent suicide.
This one,
Some researchers think putting lithium in our water could save lives.
Researchers, okay, show me some fucking credentials here, because every doctor worth their salt that I've ever known would not prescribe you something that was not indicated by your fucking condition. But these assholes want to prescribe something like lithium to the entire fucking population.
It's all I'm picturing is that the Ralphie from The Simpsons. I'm a researcher.
I'm helping.
So
Your finger has to be in your nose. I'm helping.
I'm helping.
it's just like three.
You're in danger.
Yeah, 3 or 4 paragraphs.
All right, read it, Jason. Read it.
Lithium is a potent psychiatric drug, one of the primary prescribed medications for bipolar disorder, but it is also an element that occurs naturally all over the Earth's crust, including in bodies of water. That means that small quantities of lithium wind up in tap water you consume every day. Just how much is in the water varies quite a bit from place to place. Naturally, that made researchers curious. Are places with more lithium in the water healthier mentally? Do places with more lithium have less depression or bipolar, or most importantly of all, fewer suicides? A 2014 review of studies concluded that the answer was yes. Four of the 5 studies reviewed found that places with higher levels of trace lithium had lower suicide rates. I'm going to try to pronounce this guy's name. The Tufts psychiatry professor who co-authored the review argues that effects are large. High lithium areas, he says, have suicide rates 50 to 60% lower than that of low lithium areas. Quote, in general, the United States, lithium levels are much higher in the Northeast and the East Coast and very low in the Mountain West. He told me on an episode of the Fawkes podcast, Future Perfect. Quote, and suicide rates track that exactly. Much lower suicide rates in the Northeast and higher rates in the suicide are in the Mountain West. If you apply that 50 to 60% reduction to the U.S., where about 45,000 people died of suicide in 2016, you get a total number of lives saved around 22,500 to 27,000 a year. That is high since you can't reduce suicide rate in places that are already high lithium. Back to the envelope calculations, we would save 15 to 25,000 lives per year if you added lithium to everybody's tap water.
Did they talk at all, and no they didn't, about the other factors that they controlled for? Did they control for different weather? Because I'll tell you what, growing up in Oregon, the highest suicide risk was people who had moved there from California, because they were used to sun and more sun. And then they came and lived in gloom and more fucking gloom. And they blew their brains out over it. And they didn't know why. They didn't even know why they were depressed. It was because they weren't getting
vitamin D,
the sunlight hours they were used to. And just psychologically.
And they're talking about the mountain. We're talking about the Mountain West. How many people? Yeah. Oh, gee. It seems like there's an awful lot of people who commit suicide over loneliness in Wyoming. I can't imagine why that would be. It must be the lithium,
right?
Or is it the fact that there's like 6 fucking people? Like,
yeah. Could it be the isolation? Could maybe something that you thought was a suicide have been an accident, because people who live closer to the land and people who live in more dangerous regions, they have more accidents too.
Maybe it could be the fact that Wyoming has a 7-month winter.
Yeah, that could have something to do with it.
You ever heard of cabin fever?
Yeah.
It's a real fucking thing, people.
Yep.
Right,
yeah. It couldn't possibly be because of anything. And no, correlation definitely equals causation in all cases. I think I read that somewhere.
And then there was...
Yeah. Well, somebody on the internet told it to me. So.
And then there was... the article goes on to say that in 2015, Open Philanthropy Project, a large-scale grant-making group in San Francisco, they did an analysis of the same sort of thing. And two different studies said that, quote, a small increase in the amount of trace lithium in drinking water in the U.S. could prevent up to 4,000 suicides a year. So now we're down from like 45,000, right, to 22,500. Now we're down to only 4,000 a year. So we're going to put lithium in everybody's water to save 4,000 people a year.
Yeah, and what does lithium do to people who don't need it? What does lithium do to people that are maybe too far the other direction? What does it do to manic people? Does anybody know? Like
what does it do to people from Idaho? Do you know? I don't know. Have you ever met a person from Idaho? No, they're already no. We don't
they're
need to give
fucking
them.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't need.
Yeah. Like I think that should be our control group here. Really.
I know people from Idaho that are very nice, but they don't live in Idaho anymore. And of course, correlation equals causation.
I'm just pointing out, like, I know enough people from Idaho, and the smiles start to cross into the realm of Children of the Corn a little bit. It's a little unsettling. So, yeah, I mean, it's let's just drug everybody.
Yeah.
It's,
side effects. Hand tremors, increased urination, mild thirst, diarrhea, vomiting, drowsiness, muscular weakness, lack of coordination, giddiness, weakness, blurred vision, and ringing in the ears.
Oh, because
so you know, good.
Tinnitus while I'm also dizzy, uncoordinated, and puking all over myself is definitely a way.
Let me drive mountain roads while I'm feeling that way. That's a fantastic idea.
And that's the way that I choose to keep myself from committing suicide is to make myself like
physically fucking miserable.
Just completely awful.
Let's get clumsy, weak, shit ourselves.
Yeah. That's gonna inspire a lot of self-confidence.
Well,
I think in the future for the self-confidence of people over there. I really do.
And drowsiness, don't forget. So you're also like falling asleep on the mountain roads
whole life
as you're shitting yourself. You're crash. Yeah. But at least you didn't commit suicide.
Yeah, so you're asleep in your bed, you're shitting yourself, you're pissing yourself, and you're too weak to get up and go to the bathroom.
My God, you guys, they're trying to turn them into bears. They're trying to make them hibernate all winter so they won't be depressed anymore.
That's their solution.
That's it.
Everybody in the mountains. Everybody in the mountains. It'll come along with like with the coats from Workaholics, the bear coats,
right?
And everybody will just wrap themselves in it.
We totally solved it. We're geniuses. Yeah.
Well, you know, and I feel like pointing out that lithium is also a very important ingredient in another substance you may have heard of called methamphetamine. So.
Well, that's what
you have crackheads fucking distilling water to fucking
and the giddiness is one of the side effects too. So you're happy about shitting yourself.
And let's call up Alex Jones and ask him what lithium's gonna do to the frogs. What do you guys think lithium's gonna do to the frogs?
It's gonna turn all the frogs into very excited. It's gonna turn all the frogs into gay frogs. See what I did there?
Flaming. Like all the frogs are not just going to be gay anymore. They're all going to make reservations for Fire Island. I mean, that's just.
I feel like we could,
they're going to be flamers.
I feel like we could just skip the whole adding it to the tap water thing and just suggest people go eat batteries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or and here's an idea: we could let people consult with their fucking doctors, and those two who are involved in this equation
hold on
could consult and make a decision about it together.
You're talking about self-responsibility now.
Are you suggesting that's
counter to the collective, Dyreka? We should vote.
I forgot about the collective.
We should vote on you going to the doctor.
What are you, some kind of communist that you want everybody to be
trusted to run my own fucking life, you guys? I can't be trusted to run my own life. What if I make the wrong choice? Somebody has to protect me.
In favor of Dyreka going to the doctor, raise your hand. Oh, Andrew voted with you 2-1. I guess you're going to go to the doctor.
I get to go to the doctor.
Hashtag
he's going to give you lithium.
But can I get a medical cannabis script while I'm there?
Oh, no. You can't
vote on that.
That is an evil.
Reefer Madness.
Oh, I'm not allowed to vote on that because Mike Pence said that it's not. Okay. Right,
that is an evil plan that will make you dance with the Negro folk.
Wait, but now I want to know why we can't vote on that. Is it because there's some
because our
unelected petty bureaucrats that fucking decided that it was bad for us? And
it's because the government said it was bad, Dyreka, and if you go against the government, then you're just a dirty communist and you should move to Russia.
Okay, but isn't voting going against the government if you vote no for something they want to do? Oh, I guess.
Reboot. If your computer has encountered a problem, please reboot.
Glitch.
Insert blue screen of death here.
Right.
Air 404.
Crash.exe.
Drone bomb.
Yeah.
You hear him?
Yeah.
U.S. police officers were charged with more than 400 rapes over a 9-year period.
Shocker. Look at my shocked face, everybody.
Gosh.
That's a fantastic thing to read.
You guys see my shocked face?
No.
I don't know that I believe that. I'm pretty sure that I can trust all police at all times because they're my friends.
Thin blue line.
According to research from Bowling Green State University, it's a state university. That means it's the government. Police officers.
Bowling Green, like Virginia?
Yeah. Police officers in the U.S. were charged with forcible rape 405 times between 2005 and 2013. That's an average of 45 a year. Forcible.
Hey, do you guys know where the Virginia State Police Barracks are? Bowling Green.
Forcible fondlings were more common, with 636 incidences.
Of course.
Is there such a thing as not forcible rape?
Okay. So you're gonna hire people, but you're gonna exclude. We've covered this. You're gonna exclude the people with high IQs, right? So you're gonna hire a bunch of dumb people, and then you're gonna tell them your job is to fondle people to make sure they don't have any contraband. But we expect you low IQ, fucking knuckle dragging, mouth breathing order follower, we expect you to know the difference between good fondling for your job and bad fondling. Somebody would get upset about that. But even if you bad fondle, we're still not going to let you get in trouble.
Don't forget, we're going to train you through indoctrination and through peer pressure that if you tell on one of your fellow police officers that are doing something wrong, if you snitch them out, then you're going to get in trouble and you're going to become...
And your career is going to go down the shitter. Yeah. Yeah. And also, just so you know, if a citizen that you're interacting with doesn't like what you're doing and expresses that in any way, you are fully authorized to escalate until you can fondle them any way that you want.
You hit them and you say that they're resisting.
Yep. That sounds like a recipe for a civil and peaceful society, don't you think, guys?
We need to pay taxes for that so that we can be that civilized.
They're here to protect us, Andrew. Respect
they
that.
Are.
Thin blue line. Thin blue line.
Ooh, thin blue line. Thin blue line.
So
one of these days I'm going to make like police badge candy and I'm going to flavor it like kiwi boot polish.
That stuff tastes like shit. Speaking from personal experience. Hey, look.
Don't kink shame.
Look. It's not a kink, goddammit. You're sitting in boot camp. You got to shine your boots. You don't, you spit shine, right? But part of that is getting the little t-shirt piece that you've cut off of a bigger t-shirt. You got to get it wet to make the, anyways, never mind. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
I'm not king shaming at all. I realize trying to explain it. I don't know.
Andrew knows what I'm fucking talking about. Andrew knows exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
Are you sure you haven't? I'm not here to judge. You know what? You do you.
You're full of shit. You're being a bad friend, Andrew. You know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Shame on you.
That's why Kevin's always smiling.
No, you gotta spit on it, and you gotta, and you gotta like lick it and
polish it. Yeah.
Kevin never smiles, you douchebags. He doesn't. We call it the Kevin happy face because he just never fucking smiles. But like when we first started dating, I was like, dude, what is wrong? He'd be like, nothing. I'd be like, nothing? Like, how are you feeling right now? Because you look suicidal. He'd be like, no, I'm happy. Okay. If you say so, man. Like, whatever.
With that guy.
He never fucking smiles. He has resting.
I had a drill
bitch face.
sergeant like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That man was unsettling. Very unsettling,
Yeah.
like deeply to your soul. Because he'd just look at you and you'd be like, good job.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys got to meet Kevin in person someday because he really makes people nervous. Like, he will just fucking stare right into your eyes. And he's somewhere else. Like, in his head, he's somewhere fucking 3,000 miles away. But he's staring right into your fucking soul while he's thinking about whatever else he's fucking thinking about. And it just creeps people the fuck out.
I ain't worried. Kevin loves me.
Yeah.
So it makes you nervous, and then you get depressed, and then you need to throw lithium in your drinking water.
Yeah, it's totally Kevin's fault. It's all Kevin's fault.
Mm-hmm. See?
But he's a married man. He should be used to that by now.
The U.S. Air Force has spent $326,000 replacing broken coffee cups in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Only the Air Force. Do you know what happens to you if you fuck with a Chiefs coffee cup in the Navy? Like, people in the Navy, they guard their coffee cups like they're the fucking Holy Grail. Okay? People don't break coffee cups in the Navy because they're treated like they're babies. Like, you're not allowed. I swear to God, I had a chief that tried to bust down a second class to a third class because the dude washed the Chief's coffee cup.
Never.
Oh, no.
You never washed the fucking coffee cup. Never. So the Air Force, I mean, of course, it makes sense.
Does the specially designed coffee cup cost $1,280?
No.
Probably.
And
for the Air Force? For the Air Force,
for the
probably.
Air Force, yeah. For the Navy, I mean, they'll buy 10-cent fucking coffee cups for the Navy, but
Yep.
Well, are you kidding me? At least you guys get coffee cups. You know what the Army gets? Whatever the fuck we can find. Suck it up, you whiner. It's not your hands.
Shells and like hobo
Yeah.
shoes and shit like
Isn't
that.
this a mess tin from World War II? Shut up. It's only got a little bit of blood on it. Wipe it off, you Nancy.
Yeah. Just a little bit of black mold, and it's not gonna fucking kill you. Jesus.
Sergeant, I'm pretty sure this is actually a hubcap off a 42 Buick.
Yeah.
All right.
Shut up and make sure you rinse that plate when you're done with it, Private.
A website called Honor Country sells more than 50 different ceramic coffee cups and insulated tumblers with the U.S. Air Force logo printed on the side. The cost of each one ranges from $9.50 for a cup that has been wrapped in a stylish piece of denim to $36.95 for an insulated stainless steel travel tumbler that promises to keep hot beverages hot for a precise sounding 2.4 hours. They are nice and everything, but this morning, some active duty airmen probably drank their morning coffee or middle of the night coffee out of a mug that cost $1,280. How do we know this? Because the Air Force has admitted that its service members keep dropping them, and in the past 2 years, they have spent $326,785 to replace them. In late September, Fox News reported that the 60th Aerial Port Squadron at Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield, California, has spent $56,000 on dozens of the metal coffee mugs over the past 3 years.
I call shenanigans.
According to a news release from the squadron's spokesman, each cup cost approximately $1,220. 2 years ago, the Air Force paid $9,630 for 10 of these cups. This year, it cost $32,000 to buy 25.
I call fucking shenanigans. You know what?
They're trading them for weed.
Yeah, well, no. Look, there was one. You guys know that movie Independence Day with Will Smith, right?
You don't really think they spend $1,200 on a hammer and $3,000 on a
Yeah. How does this get funded? That money is not being spent on what they say it's being spent on. This happens all the fucking time in the military. Every division fudges their fucking requisition so they don't lose funding for the next year. It happens.
If you don't spend your budget, your allotted budget,
they reduce it next year.
They'll budget you less.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They do this. Every government agency does this. Look at them at the end of April and May, right?
Mm-hmm.
April and May, because the fiscal year is July to June.
No, the fiscal year ends October 1st.
Well,
so they're like at the end of summer. So like August and September.
Look at the number of road projects that get started.
Yeah. Yeah. They're spending like fucking, they're spending it like it's water in like July, August, September in that last quarter of the fiscal year. So that their budget doesn't get cut for the next year. And they are not spending it on what they say they're spending it on. Everybody fudges the numbers like that. These assholes just got caught because they're Air Force. They're not too bright to begin with.
They're not even. These things are stupid expensive because they plug into the outlets on cargo planes, and each one contains its own small heater for keeping coffee or tea drinkably warm. But and this is at $1,280. But they also seem to be less durable than the faded 7-Eleven travel mug you've had in the back of your truck for the past 10 years.
You think?
When one of them,
I can order the same goddamn thing on Wish for $4 right now if I'm willing to wait 3.5 months. Jesus Christ!
You can trust the Air Force to fucking over-engineer everything.
When one of them slips out of someone's hand and hits the floor, the plastic handle on the side has a tendency to split. Conveniently, the manufacturer doesn't offer any kind of replacement handles, so the Air Force shrugs its collective shoulders and places an order for a new one. Rather than getting a goddamn stainless steel Yeti and one of those stupid friggin' silicone handles that goes on it.
Yeah, but that doesn't plug in a cargo plane, Andrew. It doesn't have its own little heating element.
Oh, right. And it's, because these are the same people who got substandard housing pay to stay in my barracks while I slept in a tent. Like that's how they operate. So
we can bring this back around to only the fucking Air Force, okay? By pointing out that these pussies can't even drink a cup of coffee before it goes fucking cold, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
are you kidding me?
If you're taking that long to drink your cup of coffee, then you're not old enough to be fucking drinking coffee.
Yeah. Dude, when I was in the Army, man, like if my cup of coffee actually wasn't still really scalding back of my throat at the last drink, then I had been way too busy for a cup of coffee.
If there wasn't still steam coming off of that last sip, you're not a coffee drinker.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, what?
If you're not strong enough to drink a cup of cold coffee, you got other issues.
Well, that's why they joined the Air
I
Force
guarantee
to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
Only the fucking Air Force.
Well, I guarantee you, these are the same kind of like government employees. They're like, "Oh, this is a little cold. I can't drink this." And then, "Oh, this is a little hot. I can't drink this." So they have to have that heating element tuned to exactly the right optimal drinking temperature. Otherwise, I'm afraid we can't do it with this equipment.
Goldilocks.
It is so weird how being fucking like completely attached to the government turns people into these fucking prima donnas that don't value a goddamn fucking dollar.
You mean
weird how that works, isn't it?
Oh.
People have a near unlimited budget and they're not responsible for their own finances.
Yeah.
That they generally spend whatever they want to spend.
Funny how that works.
Wait, do you mean that if I don't actually suffer any terrible consequences for spending someone else's money, I'm just going to spend it however I want?
Yeah. Believe it or not. But you know what? Me and everybody in my neighborhood elected you, and we think that you're a good person. So we have faith.
So we knew
you have more self-control than we would have because we think you're a better person than we are.
Right, because we can't be trusted with our money to not spend it on these coffee cups. But you, if we hand you all of this money and go honor system, you're gonna do it though.
I mean, you have really nice veneers, so I think I can trust you to spend my money wisely.
Not a single person in the military was elected to their position.
Nope.
So
No, but the concept applies across the board to everybody involved with government. The government tit. It's funny how you can write words on paper that make it okay for you to steal half of the income of all these people living inside the borders you drew, and you get to take all their money, and you don't even have to be responsible about what you do with it.
Not only do you not have to be responsible, but much of the time, the people that you're supposed to represent, the people that elected you, quote unquote,
they have no recourse if they don't like what you're doing.
Not only they have no recourse, but you don't have to justify your spending to them.
Nope.
A lot of the time, what you spend is you deemed classified.
Right. Like, they'll demand that you make a budget, but then you can totally fucking blow up the entire budget and then, go into debt after that, and they'll still be on the hook for paying that. So it's not even that big a deal.
What was it? What are they called? The government had was it GAO or whatever, the government accountability
office. Yeah.
Yeah, with their fucking their $100,000 annual parties with all of the platinum party favors and the strippers and everything.
Fucking bowl of irony.
Yeah, the Las Vegas.
That's my favorite kind of irony, when it is so big and so obvious. And people still don't fucking get it. That's my favorite kind of irony.
And they're the accountability office.
Exactly. That's what makes it ironic, and I love it.
Good Lord. And it's and you still think you can trust the people that they're supposed to watch?
Yeah. You think you can trust them to watch the rest of the government? Oh, we have watchdogs. No, you fucking don't.
Who runs the GAO?
I don't even know.
An appointed bureaucrat.
Oh yeah. Yep. In general term, I thought you were looking for a name. I was like,
an appointed bureaucrat who probably makes $250 to $300K a year. Very cushy job. Probably half of their time is spent on vacation.
Benefits, yeah.
Oh yeah, tons of just everything. And so of course the person who goes after that job, they're very trustworthy. Obviously,
they're not just
only
there
a
for
trustworthy.
the money and the benefits. I mean, come on, they are a public servant, Andrew. They're there to serve their fellow man. Get it right. Get it right.
Yeah, clearly. You're making 3 or 4 times as much as me, but you're definitely
3 or 4,
and you get more vacation.
They're making 3, 4, 5 times as much as you, and they're paying less in taxes.
Yeah. And they get to boss you around, but that's totally a servant, you guys, for real.
Yeah.
Totally a servant.
And you get 30 times as much vacation as I do, and you don't actually pay for your insurance like I do, and you also, probably get a company car and apartment, but you definitely serve me. You're
right.
I have an article for next time right along those lines, and I think we'll close it out with this teaser. The state of Utah has a new insurance policy for its state employees that policy, in order for some services and some prescriptions, they will fly the insuree to San Diego, rent them a car, drive across the border to Tijuana, where they will get their prescriptions, drive back to San Diego, and fly to Utah because it's cheaper than in Utah.
For the state. I just want to recap. The state employees.
State employees.
Oh.
All right.
I can't. Oh God.
Let's talk about that one next time.
Yeah. So that's the teaser for next time, you guys. So
all right.
On that note, this has been episode 46. The sacred cows were tasty.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you next time. Peace.